September 11, 2001. The whole world seems to have been pressed down to restart the ship. 19 Al-Qaeda members were robbed, holding for commercial aircraft, carried out a suicide attack. The target is America. Nearly 3,000 lives were lost in an instant. The attack not only shocked the United States, shocked the world. The man behind all this, it was the leader of Al-Qaeda, Osama bin Laden. This program, we will delve into the life of bin Laden. What exactly drove him from a rich boy going global, the most hated terrorist? You know, bin Laden was a very private man. His inner thoughts are only with those who are like him. Extreme jihadists share. His family was critical of his radical ideas and political beliefs. Know very little. Finding the real bin Laden will not be easy, because reports about him are always conflicting. But by combining various resources, we want as radical a truth as possible. Bin Laden's father, Mohammed bin Laden, a wealthy Saudi businessperson. This is a man from Yemen. Traveled to Saudi Arabia during World War I. At first, he was just an ordinary porter. By 1931, he was in the construction industry, founded the Saudi bin Laden Group. Then with a keen business acumen, he took the small company step by step to become one of the largest contractors in Saudi Arabia. And with the first king of Saudi Arabia, Special has established a good relationship. It is this relationship, Laden family, it took over Mecca and Medina, the expansion of the Holy Land, and he really rose up, become the richest non-Wang figure in Saudi Arabia. In 1956, the 48-year-old bin Laden married his 10th wife, a 14-year-old Syrian girl, Hamida Adiz. But actually, old Osama bin Laden and many wealthy people, Saudi men, I only keep the first 3 wives by my side. Constant change of 4th wife for official, because according to the Quran, Muslims are allowed to marry up to 4 wives. Hamida Adiz. It's just that bin Laden's life, one of more than 20 wives. March 10, 1957, the only son of the two was born in the Saudi capital Riyadh, named Osama bin Laden. He was the 17th out of 55 children of bin Laden Sr. Briefly explain here. In fact, Osama is bin Laden's real name, but bin Laden is not his last name either, because in the past, the Shanxi people did not have the concept of surnames. Arab now, it is convenient for people to communicate with foreigners. We'll use a family name. Bin Laden is the so-called surname, in order to facilitate everyone's understanding. This video still refers to Osama as bin Laden. Bin Laden in his childhood, in the religious center of Western Saudi Arabia, the city near the cellars of the Holy Land, pervaded with a strong religious academic atmosphere. He attended the local religious school. Read the Quran from an early age. I am well versed in Islamic education. At the age of 10, bin Laden's life suffered a major setback. 1968. Old bin Laden died unexpectedly in a plane crash. Only 59 years old, although bin Laden inherited an inheritance of $300 million. But the spiritual level fell into endless loss. Although the relationship between father and son is very estranged, but my father's grassroots counterattack experience has always been the object of worship for bin Laden Jr. A year after his father passed away, 11-year-old bin Laden enrolled in Jeddah's most prestigious private secondary school. The students in this school all wear British school uniforms instead of traditional Arabic clothing. Many Saudi Arabian princes are also studying here. The school curriculum is demanding. This includes English and math courses. Of course, there are also religious classes. In order to enable children to master, English is convenient for future higher education in the West. The old bin Laden specially invited a man named Brian, Les tutor, to the home. 30 older kids with homework. In Les memory, bin Laden is the tallest, very eye-catching. During class, he always sits in the window row. He occasionally strays in class. Watch the children play games outside. His English is not very good. The brain is not particularly smart. 14 years old, bin Laden accepted a stricter form of Islam, original teaching education. This idea holds that all foreign cultures are evil. It is the root of social contradictions and chaos, and the solution is strictly in accordance with the education of the current governed society today. Women must wear black robes. Veil. Total prohibition. No pork. People need to pray regularly in order to maintain the purity of Islamic society. Bin Laden believed in all these things, praying 5 times a day without stopping. He imitated the Prophet's way of life. Fast every Monday and Thursday. Go to bed early and get up early. Extremely self-disciplined work and rest. But his life wasn't just about religion. He likes watching movies about karate. Bruce Lee is also his favorite actor. He also likes sports cars, especially those extremely fast models. In 1974, at the age of 17, bin Laden admitted to Jeddah Abdul Tachi, King's University, major in civil engineering and economic management. Same year, he married his Syriac cousin Nakiwa. He had at least 5 wives in his lifetime, gave birth to more than 20 children. But more importantly, in college, he met the most important mentor in his life, Abdul Yusuf Azam. Azam is an important theory of the Muslim Brotherhood. The family was also the spiritual mentor of later jihadism, known as the father of jihad. He proposed, the core idea is that as long as jihad has a spear, don't negotiate, no meeting, don't talk. He advocated the use of force. Destroy all the Protestants who invade the Arab world. Building an Islamic, education-centered new order. This person has mentor of extreme jihadist ideology, completely changed the course of bin Laden's life. In the 1970s, the Cold War is heating up. The Soviet Union developed a southward strategy to contain the United States, attempt to fight through Afghanistan, land access to the Indian Ocean, to control the Middle East, oil and strategic shipping lanes in the Indian Ocean. In order to achieve this goal, the Soviet Union actively supported the talkers to power. September 1979, the situation in Afghanistan has changed dramatically. Then Prime Minister Hafizullah Amin staged a coup, killed President Taraki, and publicly expressed their desire to break free from Soviet control, switch to the United States. This operation completely disrupted the Soviet plan. To save the situation, December 24, 1979. At that time, the supreme leader of the Soviet Union, Belizhin, the husband ordered the invasion of Afghanistan. 80,000 Soviet soldiers quickly took control of Afghanistan. Most cities and transportation hubs, Amin was soon executed. Easy puppet governments come to power at random. Afghanistan has once again become a vassal valley of the Soviet Union. The Soviet Union's massive invasion of Afghanistan, setting off an anti-Soviet wave in Arab countries. Thousands of Muslim youths are fleeing to Afghanistan, take part in jihad, fighting the righteous invasion of the Soviet Union. Bin Laden was 23 years old, relying on the family business, has billions of dollars in assets. He is 1.95 meters tall and handsome, elegant temperament, wearing traditional Afghan robes all year round, known by the outside world as the Saudi Prince. It's also about charity, reputable in the Muslim world. In 1984, bin Laden and his teacher, Azam, joined forces to create the Mujahideen Service Center. The group is mainly for jihadists traveling to Afghanistan, provide weapons, food transportation, medical and other logistical support. They set up camps, military training for jihadists. This service center, that is later the predecessor of Al-Qaeda. At first, bin Laden only play the role of investor and logistics officer, but he was less and less content to be behind the scenes. They fight them. In a battle, he once shot and killed a Soviet officer, captured an AK-47 submachine gun, no matter where you go after that, and he was proud to carry it around with him. But more importantly, in the anti-Soviet struggle, he and the future supreme leader of the Taliban, Omar, became Mani's friend. This is also the reason for many terrorist incidents in the future. Foreshadowing. October 1986. Bin Laden and Grace. Shihazam's opinion is divided. Bin Laden wants to establish an independent Arab armies to confront the Soviet Union, and Azam, hoping to disperse the jihadists, continued to fight guerrillas. Eventually, the two parted ways. After that, half of Bin Laden chose to work in Afghan. The Clasa regions in the east established their own bases and named the base the Lion Cave. He invested heavily in the construction of the base, up to $25,000 a month, for armed and trained Muslims from all over the world. In 1988, 2 years later, he joined hands with Egyptian Dr. Ayman al-Zawahiri, formal establishment of Al-Qaeda. The goal of the organization at this time, it wasn't just helping Afghanistan resist the Soviet Union. It's about winning on a global scale, building a regime ruled by radical Islamic law. System 1989, Bazam and his two sons. A car bomb in Peshawar. Killed in the attack. This makes Bin Laden the undisputed leader in the hearts of radical Muslims. It is worth mentioning that in this war in Afghanistan, Muslim brothers are not alone. The United States has promoted the expansion of the Soviet Union in Afghanistan, make a huge threat. Determined to fight the Soviet Union on the battlefield in Afghanistan, launch a proxy war. The CIA passed through Pakistan. Substantial aid to the jihadists. Military personnel up to $500 million a year. Even advanced weapons such as self-defense missiles. And Bin Laden and his men also received assistance from these. Benefit a lot from helping. Some people say it was in America that Bin Laden learned how to fight, intelligence interrogation, and guerrilla tactics. For the future development of Al-Qaeda, laid a solid foundation. It can be said that without the chess game of the US-Soviet Cold War, without US military support, Bin Laden may have had difficulty building Al-Qaeda. It will not become a later order, the godfather of terror in the Western world. However, the United States at that time did not realize this comrade in arms who holds himself straight will eventually become a big problem.